The Bill of Rights.
Inspired by Thomas Jefferson and drafted by James Madison, the Bill of Rights has played a significant role in the United States of America since it was adopted in 1791. But what is the Bill of Rights? The title refers to the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. These amendments were added to protect the rights of citizens, limit the government's power, and aid in getting the Constitution ratified. Several states in the Union would not have signed to ratify the Constitution without the promise of a Bill of Rights. George Mason of Virginia even went as far as to write 16 objections towards the Constitution on the back of a copy he had, in addition to refusing to sign it. One of these objections was the lack of a Bill of Rights. In Madison's original draft for the bill, there were 20 amendments. They were narrowed down to 17, then 12, until finally settling on the 10 we have today. So what are those 10? The First Amendment protects the freedom of expression, religion, speech, press, assembly, and petition. Thanks to this amendment, you can speak out against the government, an action that could have you killed in some countries. The Second Amendment declares the people have a right to defend themselves and feel safe. This amendment allows you to be the obnoxious, gun-owning American you were born to be. The Third Amendment prevents soldiers from residing in your home during a time of peace, an act known as quartering. Thanks to these amendments, you can be like this guy, keep those soldiers out of your house. The Fourth Amendment protects your privacy. Any searches or seizures by the government declared unreasonable by the law are prohibited by this amendment. The Fifth Amendment allows you to not be a snitch to yourself. It also requires that people are tried with a jury and protects you from being punished twice for the same offense, a practice known as double jeopardy. The Sixth Amendment promises a fair and speedy trial and legal representation for citizens. This keeps you from waiting ages to find out the punishments you're dealing with. Going along with that, the Seventh Amendment guarantees a trial by jury. You won't have to worry about some incompetent rando deciding your fate thanks to this one, hopefully. Now, if you're found guilty, there is no need to fear because the Eighth Amendment promises that no punishment can be excessive, cruel, or unusual. Still, it is important to be a law-abiding citizen, as those jumpsuits in prison definitely are bordering on cruel. The Ninth Amendment is basically the etc. of the Bill of Rights. It states that people still have rights not listed in the Constitution. So if someone tries to argue that the right you are claiming to have isn't in the Bill of Rights, make sure you remind them of the Ninth Amendment. Finally, the 10th Amendment states that powers not given to the federal government are left to the states and the people. This was a good way to limit the power of the federal government and increase the value of state governments. These amendments were a huge deal and still are. It is important that American citizens are educated on the Bill of Rights because their whole purpose was to protect us. It is important to know your rights so you can ensure that the government continues to uphold them. If you ever want to see an original copy of this important document for yourself, you are in luck. Congress had 14 copies made, one for the federal government and one for each of the original states. The national copy can be viewed at the National Archives in Washington, D.C. A fact many may not know is that North Carolina's copy had been stolen during the Civil War by a Union soldier and was missing for nearly 140 years until it was found in 2003, clearly. The Bill of Rights has significance to many people. It protects your rights to be the proud, free American that you are.